Hi everyone, my name is Riley and welcome to or back to my channel. Today I have a big stack of books that I'm going to be sharing with you guys that are on my TBR list. If you are new to the book community and don't know what TBR stands for, it is the to be read. So it's just a pile of books that we have and we need to get through and we need to read. So without further ado, grab some coffee, grab some water, and keep watching. The first book on my stack is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've heard really great things about this book and I absolutely loved The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so I'm really excited to get to this book. The next two books are the spin-off of Colleen Hoover's Maybe Someday. It's Maybe Now and Maybe Not. I do really love spin-offs of books or told in a different POV, so I am really excited to get to these. I love Colleen Hoover, so I'm sure that I will also love these. The next two books are a duo, so I have Full Tilt and All In by Emma Scott. I have heard phenomenal things about this. I don't feel like I ever heard someone speak negatively about these books, so I am really excited to be able to get to them. I've never read anything by Emma Scott, so I'm very interested in her writing style and definitely about the plot of these. I do know that the author originally wanted to write All In, like this was her first book idea, but in order to completely tell the story of this one, she needed to write this one, the Full Tilt one. So I'm excited to read these. I've heard really great things about them. The next three books are a trilogy, but I guess it's technically a duology, but one is a spin-off. So it is Bright Side and Gus. These books are by Kim Holden. I've never seen these covers before. I've only seen the orange and the black one, if you know what I'm talking about. So I do really like these covers. It is very my vibe. So I'm excited. So I'm assuming that this is the first published book and this is kind of a different POV. I don't know, that's just kind of what I assume. But then the third book is Franco, which is a spin-off. But obviously these three go together, so I'm excited to read these. My next two books are books that I got from Book of the Month, but I just hadn't had the time to read them within the month and I just kept putting them off, so I'm definitely going to be getting to them soon. And one of them is The Last Stopped by Casey McQuiston. I'm so sorry. I did read Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is another book of hers that really went popular on Book Talk. I did like it. I wasn't obsessed with it as everybody else said, but I also think that it could just be me holding up to an impossible standard because everyone raved about it. The next book I have is Half Sick of Shadows by Sebastian. I don't really read fantasy or dystopian often, but I do love a good spinoff, and this is a spinoff of, I think, Arthur and the Round Table, I believe. So I'm excited to read this because I do love a spinoff. I really do. My next book on my list is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I hear that this has a trope of bad girl, good boy, so I have never read anything similar to that. I was a little skeptical at first about purchasing this book because I didn't know if that really was my vibe or something that I would enjoy, but now that I think about it more and the more I hear that people really like it, it makes me definitely excited to read this. My next two books are The Slow Burn Queen, which is Mariana Zapata. I have The Wall of Winnipeg in Me and Hands Down. The Wall of Winnipeg in Me is the first book and it's a long slow burn romance. I've never read a sports romance other than the Off Campus and the Priory U series, but I do really like sports romances. I really loved that series, so I'm excited to get to this one. I'm assuming that Hands Down is just the other point of view of Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I don't know if it's a prequel to the book or an epilogue book, but I am excited to get to this because it kind of went together. But I always see people talk about this book and never about this book, so I am really excited to get to this and see what I think about it. I feel like this video is just me ranting about how much I love spin-offs or backstory books. The next book is definitely on my priority TBR. It's definitely at the top of my stack, and it's Wicked by Gregory Mcguire. This is actually what the musical Wicked is based off of, and I love that musical. I've seen it on Broadway twice and I have listened through the soundtrack just you know, top to bottom so many times I can't even count. So I'm excited to read this. I have heard that this is definitely a more pessimistic and like not so happy ending vibes as the musical is. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's just like rumors I vaguely remember hearing. So I am really excited to get to this because again, like this is a different point of view or a spinoff or a backstory of The Wizard of Oz. The last and the thickest book on my TBR list is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This has been on my TBR for maybe seven months. I am absolutely terrified of this book just because of the size. And I shouldn't be scared because like, I mean, if you look at The Wall of Winnipeg and me, like there's not too much of a difference. Like there's just 400 pages more in this one. I always just keep putting it off because it's a lot of world building in the first couple of pages and it's fantasy, which is not something that I normally go for. I have heard so many great things about this book and I know that I would love it if I just started it and, you know, took the jump, but I just haven't been able to convince myself to do that. I lied, that is not the last book. I forget, I have other books at my school apartment. So I don't have these in person, but I do have them. They're just at a different location than where I am at right now. So I've read the first book of the Harry Potter series, but I have literally all the other books. So I just need to read them. I have like 2 through 7 that I need to read. So I have those 6 books to finish. And then I have 2 books that I'm saving for vacation reads because they are like those summery vibes. And I definitely like to save like those kind of books for when I'm in the mood or in the season of. And it's Heart of Bones by Colleen Hoover and The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I love Christina Lauren and Colleen Hoover, so I'm sure I would love them. I'm just kind of putting them on the shelf right now because they're paperback and they're definitely summer reads, or they give you those summer vibes. So I'm definitely waiting until I go like on vacation of spring break or in the summer or something so I can take those with me and read them then. And the last book I have is Addicted to You by Krista and Becky Richie. I know I will like this series, just what everyone's talking about. So this is definitely on the lower end of my TBR list because I know once I start, I'll want to purchase all of the books in the series. And I know it's like, I think it's like 8 to 12 books total in the series. Like I want to read them all in order. I think it's like the Addicted and Calloway Sisters series. I'm not 100% sure on that. So I'm definitely going to wait to start reading that book until I'm like 3/4 of my way down through my TBR of the books I just shown you so I can like not feel bad about purchasing so many books at one time. Okay, so that is all of my books on my TBR list. If you want to find me on any of my social medias, I have my Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, all linked down below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe so that way I know which content you like so I can base my videos on what y'all like to see. And I'll see y'all in the future. Have a great, wonderful day or night, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll see you later.